In Farming Simulator 22, there's many crops at your disposal, many different things to farm, many different things to sell and produce. A consensus and common thought among many of the players of Farming Sim 22 is that the root crops are some of the worst. The potatoes, the sugar beets, they take an incredibly long time to plant, an incredibly long time to harvest, and are overall just a big hassle to even deal with, man. Because of these downsides, a lot of farmers actually don't even make these at all. They never even plant potatoes, they don't even try them out. Well, that might be the consensus of a lot of farmers. That's where I'm different, man. Welcome to the potato farm. At the Iowa Plains map, a beautiful modded map as I run over a sheep. Excellent intro. Absolutely beautiful modded map and the grounds for our potato revolution. Right here, you can see a quick top-down flyover of our farm here. It is absolutely beautiful. And while it might have a few things, aka those grain silos right there, that won't be used for potato production, I mean, just look at this map. It is absolutely beautiful. Including the two fields to the left and the right and the big one below me, this is all ours to start with, man. While potatoes definitely are a hassle, definitely are something that you might want to avoid, it's something I've always wanted to do. I mean, just look at the YouTube name below, man. I'm MisterTaters. This is in my blood to do. Our general goal here, cover this entire absolutely gorgeous map with potatoes. I want to farm every single plowed field already on this map with potatoes. I want to cover this map. I want it all the same color, man. While I have a few more of the official rules in my Discord, link is below in the description. The basics are, the only thing I'm really going to be farming is potatoes, as you might gather from the title of this video. While I won't be showing off every single piece of equipment you start with here, I do have a couple of harvesters on the right, a couple of planters on the left, a few tractors, planters, all that sort of good stuff. Now, the one exception to the rule that I just made about potatoes only is I am going to do a little bit of sunflower farming. The reason behind it, and one of my favorite parts of this map, is there's actually a fry production. You can take potatoes and sunflower oil to make fries. While that isn't something I'm going to do right away in this series, I'll definitely be working towards that because we're going to need a lot of money to be buying up all these map plots, man. So, do you think you have what it takes to be a potato farmer? I don't know if I do, but let's find out, man. As I said, I have some starter equipment here. I mean, this map is just beautiful. I'm going to start with $500,000 in my pocket and a bit to own here. While that might seem kind of forgiving and easy, I can assure you planting and harvesting pretty much nothing but potatoes is going to be extremely punishing. So don't worry, there will be plenty of punishment to come. We got us an absolutely beautiful John Deere tractor here. We're an American farm and we use the Deere. While it might say that it's year 2, I just wanted to start in the March when we can get planting, and that's exactly what we're gonna do here, man. I got our nice big planter here ready to roll. One interesting thing that I think I will actually be showcasing here is I do have a modded harvester, I do have a modded planter here. Those will make things just a little bit easier, but I thought it would be interesting to kind of compare the two, using the big modded one or using the best harvester of the base game for potatoes. On top of that, also using the best planter for potatoes from the base game. So it'll be kind of an interesting thing to have side by side, where we can see just how unforgiving the base game really can be with potatoes, and how modding can make it at least slightly easier. But still pretty punishing, man. So we got yet another Deere tractor here. I'm actually just gonna hook both these bad boys up and we'll just get them right next to each other, both planters on this beautiful March morning. It does actually start with a standard harvester as well in here, a nice combine, a nice Case IH 7150. On top of that, we do have a header over here and a trailer for cutting those sunflowers, but that is the only thing we'll be doing besides potatoes, and that's just simply for the production purposes. I want to make them French fries, man. So one fun thing about farming potatoes is you can actually use them as seeds, but seeing as we don't actually have any yet, we're gonna have to get some regular seeds. So I think I will go ahead and just drive into town down, grab us some seeds, and get this all started, man. We'll give us a minute to appreciate just how beautiful this map can be. We actually have a little bit more to our farm up here, and while some of it isn't completely needed, just like this cow barn to the left, I won't be farming cows, I won't be making hay, which is a hay loft over there. I just thought it looked really nice, so I left it in. Might be something, if I need some money later, I could sell to make way for more fields, or just the ability to buy a little bit more. I think for the time being though, I'm gonna leave it. This is one of those maps where they do just an amazing job of blending in where the map starts and ends. Like the horizon just looks so good and you can't really tell what's on the map and what's not from a distance. Some of it is better than others, you know, you can see some kind of flat images here and there, but I mean, look how pretty all this is, man. This is all modded map in Iowa, the Iowa Plains view. Several of you might have already played on this map, I'm not quite sure. It's pretty popular, but I'm pretty new to the modded map scene, to FS22 in general, so some of my first time seeing it, and I gotta say, very impressed. Extremely beautiful map. We got the vehicle store right here on our left, not too far away, so we will just get a few bags of seed and get back to our potatoes, man. The bags were a little more big than I remembered there. This truck really flies. It is a fast truck. So I am just flying down the highway. Real excited looking at all this land and just thinking about how it might be ours someday. I mean, just over there, you can see my farm already. Those grain silos are definitely gonna be overkill for the amount of sunflower that I will be farming. We'll be doing a little bit here and there. Might even plant a field or two of it today. But we will get off to a nice start. I mean, that farm is just absolutely beautiful, man. The perfect grounds for a potato revolution. I'm excited to just get this going, get this started, man. Just get out in them fields and get it all planted to start with. All right, you can see we're already filling up. We're definitely gonna need a few more runs of them seeds, man. We got us an extremely big field here. You can see alone just this field right here is 33 acres. So we have quite the task ahead of us here. So just a reminder, this is absolutely the biggest planter that you can get in the base game. So yeah, just keep that in mind as things are going here, as we're looking at 33 acres of field and I'm lining this up. By the way, our fields are looking excellent, fully fertilized, so we don't have to worry about that too much. We can just get these potatoes in the ground, man. So we'll get it all lowered down, and I mean, I think it's time to get going here, man. Let's take us a look here. Oh yeah, look at that. Potatoes growing. Oh man, I mean, we're driving here. Look how much we have to do. Oh boy, what was I thinking, man? How many minutes in this challenge? I'm already questioning all my life decisions. But this is why we have multiple planters. This is why we have a big setup. That's why I didn't feel too bad starting with so much equipment on this map. I mean, part of it is you start with this absolutely beautiful field, so how can I not, right? But I'm loving those rows of potatoes, and I'm doing my people proud right now. The taters of the world must be recognized. So while it might seem kind of weird to do, we need to go pick up more seeds, man. So I think I'm actually just gonna get an AI hired right away. Get that thing planted, man. Get them potatoes in the ground. Alrighty, more seeds to be acquired here, man. Okay, was just able to make it work, getting 3 bags at a time. Unfolded the back of this bed here in this truck, and we're back in action, flying down the road. This truck got some power to it, man. We are flying, even with 3,000 liters of seed bags in the back there. I mean, we gotta go right around this guy. He going too slow for me. Farmer cannot wait. Whoa, maybe I should be waiting. Yeah, maybe taking a left going about 70 miles an hour and completely jerking the wheel like that. Not my best idea. So I just want to see how this dude's doing here. Probably could use some more seeds. Maybe I'll get him here at the end, get it all refilled. But we're just getting a little taste. While that other planter definitely has a bigger work width there, the green one. Oh, look at that, it's already empty. Okay. Well, that one over there is definitely bigger working width. This is just a little taste taste of what it would be like to do this completely unmodded. We are gonna drive over some of these fresh rows, which I don't like to do, but we need more seeds, man. What can I say? Okay, got us a few more seeds, and I think it's time to break out the big guns. Well, this definitely isn't like a lifesaver or anything compared to the working with on that other one. This is kind of a godsend. So we'll get it all lined up. We got our big double wheel John Deere out here, ready to roll. Hey, I mean, it's not as bad as the other one, man. Oh boy, that's a lot of field. What have I gotten myself into? Now, we'll have fun with it. I'll probably be utilizing the AI a lot for this series, but you know, you gotta get in here, you gotta get your feet a little wet sometimes and just get them potatoes in the ground. And we actually have a bit more planting to do today. I wanted to get at least like a field or two of sunflowers. The sooner we get that nice sunflower oil started, the sooner I can get French fry production going. So we got a nice John Deere 7810 here. Much smaller thing, maybe about 180 horsepower, nothing crazy, but more than enough to run our planting setup here. You can see it's pretty small, but we're not doing a crazy big amount of sunflower farming, so it works just fine for me. All right, we got our funky little setup here. We can just go grab some seeds. I was able to grab some more, get them here on the farm. And you can see we got a nice planter going out there. He's making good progress already. You know, haven't actually used one of these planters before, so it looks like the front holds fertilizer, so I could be fertilizing at the same time. However, I think our fields are all fully fertilized already, so that's nothing I need to worry about quite yet. So I will probably just get that dropped back off in the barn here and get just a little bit of sunflowers planted. This is gonna be a pretty easy setup to upgrade from eventually, at least this, you know, this little planter, this little tractor, but it's pretty decent to start. I'm thinking of our fields here, we got a good 8 acres down here and a good 11 acres up here. I was thinking about just making both of these sunflowers. I don't think that'll be too difficult or anything, and we'll just get over here and get started, man. You can see we got sunflowers selected there. We'll get this all lined up, learning the tricks with all of these all of this new equipment, man. All right, we got it going there. Heading back here, and I mean, look at that, sunflowers planted. Needs rolling, but we probably won't worry about that. Coming over from the Broke to Billionaire series, which if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go give that a watch. I'll try to put a card in the top right there. But that has been the main series of my channel, so it's been a lot of fun trying to get to $1 billion. Very challenging, very long, challenging process. We got a solid amount of episodes thus far. Go check it out definitely if you haven't yet. But coming over from that, it has been very jarring getting used to all this new equipment, this new field and everything. I've just spent so long with all of the equipment that I've kind of cobbled together in the Billionaire series that it's really refreshing to come over to such a beautiful modded map with all this equipment and just such a different setup. But I think it's just really, really nice, really a lot of fun and a good little change of pace. Not that that series is ending or anything like that, just the two of these together makes for a pretty fun little combo for me. While I don't think the difficulty of this challenge of getting potatoes on literally the entire map here is going to be anywhere close to getting $1 billion on hard economic difficulty, this will still definitely have its challenges. I mean, you can see already some of the working with of the potato stuff. Some of that stuff is literally like the highest end stuff that you can get, at least in the base game. Also, speaking of which, I'm starting to recognize potatoes everywhere. Look at that. They got potatoes growing right there. It's crazy how difficult and time consuming the potatoes really can be, even with the best equipment in the game. So I definitely think this will be an interesting challenge, a new twist, a new angle on something to do in Farming Sim. And I haven't seen a lot of people focus on potatoes too heavily, probably because of the reasons I just outlined. Going against the grain a little bit, trying to make it work, trying to make it happen, and trying to have, you know, just a bit of fun with the process. I don't want it to be completely miserable, hence why I'm using a few mods here and there to aid the process. But if you guys enjoy this type of challenge, it's the exact type of thing I will be making a lot more of. So if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe down below. Let me know what you think of the challenge. And if you guys have any interest in doing it yourself, let me know how you decided to start, what map you decided to go on, all sorts of stuff. All right, we're making some good progress planting here. I was a little worried about the seeds at the beginning. I didn't think I would quite have the capacity, but this is actually making it last pretty well. Granted, it's not like a huge field, but still, it's working pretty good so far. Okay, just checking up on this guy. I did have him make way for other equipment to be running along this track, which is where this guy comes in. I think I will just go down there and get started. I think I'll just head in there and assist this AI and get planting, man. Might be one of the only times I have at least these two pieces working on the same field, but right now we don't have any other fields to plant besides that guy over there, and I might make that one sunflower as well. Now, since we're starting with a bit of money in our pocket, just under 500k, I might even just end up buying another field. I saw at least one is planted with potatoes, so I mean that just saves us a little bit of time, makes it so I don't have to go back and forth planting here, and I can just focus on getting it harvested later this year. Definitely gonna be a little bit more of a chill series. There's just not gonna be as much day-to-day to do. It's gonna be very busy planting seasons and harvesting seasons, and we'll try to get some of those productions going as well, like I talked about earlier, namely the French fry one, which sounds like a ton of fun. Once we get more into that, it'll be more about transportation, and obviously we'll get a bit busier as we get more fields and more farms to take care of. It'll be fun though. It'll be fun to mess around with root crops. I literally have never farmed potatoes or even sugar beets beyond some contracts in the Billionaire series where I covered each of those. That's it though, and it really didn't give me a start to finish sort of look at it or anything like that, so this will be all new and very exciting. I hope you like a nice chill series with some intrigue, with some challenge to it, with a little bit going on, a little bit different than what you might see from some of the other series I've seen out there. Really haven't seen people touch potatoes very often, at least. Alright, looks like our sunflower worker just ran out of seeds as well. So we will hop on over, grab some more. Making good progress planting here. You can see this guy right here making a little pass, missing a little bit as always. This first initial plant will probably be a little bit messier than future plants. One of the biggest things is I'm not gonna have to buy seeds once I get harvesting them potatoes. Now we do have quite a bit of storage for it. This building right here on my right is actually a gigantic warehouse that you can just dump potatoes in. It's kind of wild. I don't know how much I'm going to use it. Maybe if I end up just with a ridiculous amount of potatoes, because I actually have a root crop storage right up here on the right between the silos and that red building. You can just dump potatoes in there and then take them out the other side, and I'm pretty sure it has a huge capacity as well. So I got some boys from the delivery store to bring out some seed because we are just going through it today, man. We're using a lot more seeds for planting all those potatoes. I mean, it makes sense. Look how big that field is. The sunflower definitely takes a whole lot less. So we got them filled up and we'll get it back going here. And one thing I did notice about this place is it has collectibles, and I just happened to be in my truck here, looked down and saw this little guy here, Tractor Turbo Challenge. Bo-bo-no. Many years ago, a software company buried their entire stock of unsold video game cartridges in this region. Try and find all of them. You found the Tractor Turbo Challenge game cartridge, just 19 more to go. Okay, that's pretty awesome. See, this is a great map, man. And I get to play my favorite jingle again. Anyone who's been watching the Billionaire series is probably very sick of that by now. So just finishing up the very first planted field, which is actually sunflower. No surprise that this finished first. This is the smallest of all of our fields. Right after this, I will get on over to the fields that are just past the silo right there, and we'll get that one planted with the sunflower as well. Probably pick up a little more seed on the way there, but yeah, should be pretty easy. Loving how this farm looks. A lot of space to grow. Can still put down a decent amount of stuff if we want. Mostly untouched. I really didn't do too much to what the mod creator already had here. This is the starting farm, and I just found it really awesome, so that's why I decided to go with it. Feels a little wasted doing like only potatoes with several of these really cool buildings. Like, I love that cow pasture they made. That looks really cool with the big red barn and everything. It's unfortunate we'll never be using it, but that's just how it goes. And we are just getting them spuds in the ground, man. I'm running a little low on this planter. We'll get it refilled here, and yeah, just keep the plant going, man. Might as well refill it while I'm over here. We got the truck ready to go for any emergency fill-ups needed, but I'll probably just dump the rest of these bags in here. Excited to not have to fill up this way in the future. We do have that storage right over there for future potatoes, and that'll be a nice little refill point. We have some auger wagons there that I'll be able to use for like field delivery. It's gonna be pretty cool. Obviously also useful while harvesting, but you know, multi-purpose. I'm planting here, and I just noticed this dude here to my left. What is he doing? He is watching me plant this, I guess. He's enjoying the view. He's a big sunflower fan, I suppose. No, and just like that, he left. Okay, he wasn't a fan of my sloppy headland pass, I suppose. Can't blame him too much for that one. Really looking forward to this production we got on the horizon. Haven't even made sunflower oil before, and on top of that, making french fries is a brand new production. The base game does not have any sort of potato production, which is a bit unfortunate because obviously potatoes are used for so many things. You think they would have more support for them, especially with it being such just a terrible crop to farm. We'll do what we can, and we will serve the world french fries with our potato revolution. The potato takeover of the Iowa plains has begun. All right, so we just have a few strips here and there to finish up, and this field will be fully planted. I'm doing a final little pass here, just getting this tiny little strip where we missed some. Seems to be how it always goes. Luckily, Farming Sim doesn't have like double planting, because this would be pretty catastrophic to do, especially with a row crop like potatoes. Double planting would be a pretty bad. So getting our first big old potato plant done today. Very exciting stuff. Look at them rolling hills, man. Iowa looking very pretty. Soon this entire land will be covered in potatoes. I've slowly been realizing that I'm really just gonna need a lot more equipment to make all of this work, just because these fields take so long. I presumably cut out a lot of this since it was just me going back and forth for literally like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. I don't even know, man. I think it should be very nearly done here. I might have one little strip here. Well, where are we here? We got a little strip right here. I think this guy's gonna cover it. I'll probably go get these two. It's like we missed a strip right here. Ooh, I'm gonna miss up these perfect rows. Oh, look at that. That's so ugly. I'm so sorry, everybody, for what I've done. I like my little double wide tractor here. Could upgrade it at some point and put two wheels on the front too, if I wanted to, but I don't know. I'm liking the two in the back. The Deere, the John Deere, the potato farmer in his element. When you think Mr. Taters, this is what you should think, brother. And while you're thinking about Mr. Taters, you should also think about pressing that subscribe button. Yeah, we got him, boys. I think I'm experiencing potato-induced madness. You'll have to excuse me. All right, and he should be finishing that up over there, and that is a fully planted field. We have a lot of extra seed. That's my bad. That's my bad. Probably shouldn't be taking this on this road here. Oh, stop. Let me through. All right, I'll drive in a responsible manner. So I'm gonna take this down, barely squeeze this through here. Might actually drop this off in this little bunker right here. There's a couple of cultivators there. There's also a plow, so if we wanted to plow, we could do something, but I'll probably just drop this off in front of the plow and it's fine. I think I'll leave the seed in there for now, might as well. All right, looking good out here too. I can't remember if I can fold this guy up. I think I can. So this guy, I don't even know where I'm gonna put this guy. I suppose I could just put it in the covered garage here. Put my primo backup skills on display. So I think I'll get these guys parked, and I actually did want to go survey out the land a little bit. I'm thinking with the money that we do have that I want to get a little more land started. Thinking that's probably a good idea, and I saw a couple options I think that already had potatoes planted, so I don't even need to worry about using these guys. All right, just got those seed bags moved over there. I think that's fine for now. now. We'll have more of a formal setup later. What's especially exciting is, as I mentioned, this is actually root crop storage. So once we have some potatoes in this silo, that'll pretty much be our seed dispenser as well. You can see we got a few of these surrounding fields with potatoes. You can see just right there. A few of them growing already, freshly planted. So I was just going to check out 13. It's a solid 26 acres, almost 27 acres. So it would be a hefty chunk to our farm. If I'm doing this challenge like I'm talking about, which that's the plan, man, I'm going to need to buy everything anyways. So it's never going to be a terrible idea to get some of these things purchased, even if, oh boy, that's kind of a big field. So let's take a look here. Yeah, yield bonus 100%. He already has it fertilized, no weeds or anything. And look at those rows. Looks good to me, man. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't just get this bought since we have the money for it. So 323,000, still have a bit of money left over. Look at that. Already got a whole bunch more land. So we'll just add that to our already gigantic harvest of potatoes. So it's already been such an exciting start. Got what, 1, 2, 3 fields all planted. Got a 4th field bought. This one and that one are both gigantic. Our home one, it was 33 acres. This one's 26, so it's just barely smaller. Then the other ones are 8 and 11. So altogether, we got just shy of about 80 acres of land, which is, whoo boy, that is quite a lot. That's a lot of land to work, especially with the tools that I'm using, man. Whoo boy. I wanted to go look at that little production. It's nothing I'll buy right now, but it looks like the oil mill and the French fry store, which is where you can make those French fries, are both right next to each other. There's like a little town over here, kind of near the vehicle store, so we were already there earlier. Ooh, look at them potatoes and them sunflower right there. Now look at this little town, man. This is very pretty. You got the vehicle store right over there, gas station, looks like a little restaurant over here. That eating area over there looks nice. I would go here, man. Sure, the pink tables are kind of weird, but it's nice to me, man. Big old potato field right in town. This is my kind of place. I like all these fields kind of like right in town. That's cool. Oh, and look at that, French fries. So I'm actually not sure. I realize I'm kind of in the road here. How much would this be, guy? Oh, okay, that's only 40K. That's not too shabby at all. So we can probably get that bought very soon. The only issue being we do need sunflower oil to actually produce French fries. So you can see there's a little like French fry logo right there. On top of that, it looks like there's like a ketchup factory here too. I think you can send your miters there. Yep, ketchup house. One unfortunate part of doing only the potatoes and sunflowers, I'm likely only going to be doing the French fry production. But who knows, later on, if I'm having fun with this and we're like reaching the end of the goal, maybe I'll branch out. Who knows? Goal right now is definitely getting them potatoes spread across the land. Then obviously right here we got our oil mill. This is the other one we will be using just to make sunflower oil because I want to enable the French fries. But yeah, all sorts of good stuff here. Lots of productions along this little strip. Very cool town. Then of course we got the John Deere store. We'll pick up that bag of seeds I neglected to pick up earlier and get on home, man. Very productive first day. Very productive March. Planted tons of taters. Got the tater empire started. Man, look at his field compared to mine. Those headland passes really do add the ugly factor, man, but they make getting around the field so much easier. Don't make fun of me. Well, good times, beautiful farm, beautiful map. Loving the start of this challenge. So we'll drive on home here. Our beautiful house. You can see, got a few things. Oh, would you look at that? Look, fresh fruit farmers. What a way to end the day. Productive March, great way to start it. Our potato empire grows. Before we got to July, as I go into a little divot there, I did put down a few generators, just a couple windmills and a solar panel. There's probably going to be a good amount of just kind of speeding through the off months in this series, at least until we get productions going. So put down this solar panel, and that's one thing I was thinking of doing with this field. While I could make it another little field, maybe for sunflowers or something like that. I was thinking of even making it just a solar farm and slowly adding to it. But you can see, got a few windmills, got everything looking real nice. Excited to get right into harvesting, but just thought we'd take a little look at all our crops. It is the time of the potato. Had a little bit of a heart attack for a second because I forgot the potatoes have like 2 stages, right? They have the foliage on top and then they're technically ready to harvest. So I saw that red on the map and had a mini heart attack. But the potatoes are looking fantastic. Now, I do have a couple harvesters here, probably not nearly enough for this type of a field, honestly, and I have multiple of them, so. But they luckily handle all that foliage on their own, so that's nothing we actually have to worry about. I think we'll probably just go ahead and get these guys going. It's gonna be a long harvest. We do have a modded harvester over here. It is the Homer T440. On the left here, we have the highest end harvester in the base game. That one is the Grim Ventor 4150. Now, I already know the modded is going to go so much faster, but just for argument's sake, we got to have a somewhat fair competition. You know what I mean? I have a feeling I'm just going to want to sell this thing like ASAP just to get more of these. So, let's get started with the Grim, man. So the one thing about these guys is the working with. You get this big machine. It's like, what, $400,000, $500,000. Get all this machinery, look at it all folding out, getting set up. All this, and then this is what comes down. That is the whole working with. Oh, man. Now, to just keep things at least like mildly fair, I guess, I will have the smaller harvester work on the 26 acres, whereas the bigger one will work on the 33 acres. It's still gonna just be ridiculous. There's almost no way that the Grim has any chance here. But, you know, we'll give it a bit of a fair shake. I will also set it up to be emptied out by the auger wagon that's also part of the base game. Probably shouldn't have unfolded this bad boy yet, so maybe I'll fold her back in before I take out a light post or something. This big $500,000 machine, and it has the tiniest working width ever. A lot of real life harvesters have a much better working width than this. Granted, a lot of them still do have very small working width. It's just like kind of a painful process, but it's not this ridiculous. This is crazy. This is the absolute highest end one. I've seen ones that are like double as big, and I don't know how common they are because I don't know enough about potato farming, man. I'm trying to learn though. So I guess there's no real sense in messing around here, man. We might as well just get harvesting, see what the damage is. First potatoes harvested, I think. Yes, there it is. Okay. It had me worried there. All right, look at that. Oh boy. So just this little strip, right? And look at that whole field. Oh boy. Yeah, this gonna take a while, man. The tiniest working width known to man. So you can see we got all the potatoes like going up. Rips out the whole thing, including all the topping that you usually kind of have to chop off to dig them out of the ground. Pretty cool technology, honestly, but I mean, it is beyond painful to use, at least in this game. The technology, very cool. The working with and practicality, very not cool. Now, the one upside here is potatoes are actually extremely profitable. Granted, they take all day to do, so I don't know how much benefit you're actually getting there. But, you know, it's something. French fries themselves should make a ton of money as well. I haven't calculated how much they make and everything like that. I just kind of want to produce them and I assume they make a profit. If for whatever reason they don't make a profit, I can always pivot, but I gotta produce at least some French fries, man. Keeps things a little interesting, gives me some stuff to do in the off season anyways, makes it a bit more exciting rather than literally just doing this for 8+ hours. So another level of the pain here is we're not done with a single pass yet, but we are nearly half full on the tank. I mean, I already have, what, 112,000 liters, 115,000 liters of potatoes, so this is gonna be a crazy big harvest. I feel like I have severely underestimated how much space I'm gonna need here. Now, up next is the big boy, the Homer. Now this guy, pretty much everything is better about this. It increases the capacity it can hold in its tank there. It drives faster while working or not working. And I mean, look at the header. It's a respectable size. Now granted, it's still only what, like 6 meters or something like that. But that one over there, I'm pretty sure is like 3. So this is doubling the work width. But I think maybe we'll get started over here. I think we gotta unfold this bad boy all out. All right, we like haven't even started harvesting here. I'm just kind of giving myself a little entry point to do a headland pass. And that other guy already needs to be offloaded, which is a little scary. So the one thing you can see already is, I mean, the work width is just like so much better. Now we're still getting a good yield and everything, but the tank on this thing is just a lot bigger. I think, I guess I could check the tank. I feel like the tank fills up around the same rate, but it also is just clearing out twice as much potato. Now turning this thing is kind of a challenge. We gotta make like a whole little area here. Alrighty, you can see we're flying. We are just going for it here. Yeah, I mean, the difference in these guys is just like insane. This is so much better. Like, I actually did more on this guy, and it was just that much faster. Oh man, this hill is gonna be a little tricky. A little tricky. Now, I guess the one thing I don't like about this guy is that weird kind of like, how it's almost like working ahead of it a little bit. It's got the effect of getting rid of the foliage on top. But also, I mean, this is like so much faster. This is gonna save me a lot of sanity. All right, I think I'll get this guy harvesting as well, and then get those auger wagons out here. Gotta come in here, open up these gates. This place aired out, man, it stinks. All right, getting into our John Deere 6250R. Now we'll actually be putting him on the base game auger wagon here. I couldn't remember what this one is called. The How Q 2000, something like that. Alrighty, so we are driving up the street here. I think I'll do this first one just manually on my own, see how it all looks, and then I'll probably be setting up some stuff in auto drive. I think for now I'll probably just dump the crops into our silo over there, or our root crop storage, that is. Now one thing is, I gotta find this guy. Okay, it looks like the secondary harvester, which I can't even see because of the render distance. Both harvesters here need to be unloaded, so got our work cut out for us today. Haven't even done a full headland pass. This guy already needs to be offloaded. So yeah, it's definitely going to be doing some stuff in auto drive, man. We do need this guy to turn around so I don't just run over all of our potatoes. So I think I'll probably just pull this guy around. Just want to make sure we don't destroy anything. Every potato is precious, man. And we'll use our neighbor's weirdly half like cultivated field. That should just offload there. Yep. So I'll let that offload. I just wanted to check what the proportions are going to be like. The size on this auger wagon could definitely be better. It's one thing I don't love about it. I do love the conveyor belts they use for potatoes. Those are pretty awesome. So it does look like the auger wagon is able to handle an entire tank load from this guy, so that's actually pretty awesome. Looks like one tank is what, 22,000, so that's how much this guy can hold, is 22,000 liters. So I'll get this guy flipped around here and get him back to it. Now for the big boy, which we will be grabbing with our Deere 7R 350. Oh, don't want to crash it though. It's a beautiful tractor, man. I love the double wide wheels. Maybe even put double wide on the front at some point too. I really don't think it's required at all, but I love the way it looks. We're doing some big farming, so some of this big equipment is very needed. Now, I'm not sure where this guy is. Oh, there he is. All right. And it looks like he did pull off a little bit for me there, so we will go get this offloaded. Before I forget, this is the Lizard Logistics RRW 500 multi. It can be used for other stuff. I think it's mainly just supposed to be used for sugar beets and potatoes though. Same with this harvester here. It can harvest both of those as well, so both of these are kind of supposed to be root crop mods. There we go, at kind of a weird angle there. So hopefully he can reach. I might want to... Oh, he's moving. Okay, he's moving and grooving. So I should probably get pulled around here. Oh, these hills. I'm standing this thing up. So I don't know if you guys missed it, but in my most recent episode of Broke to Billionaire, at least while I'm recording this, it is episode 19, which I can't believe there's 19 episodes already. That is just crazy. In that episode, I actually used this exact setup of harvester and auger wagon. So I got a little sneak peek at how things would look. It was for a sugar beet contract, so it wasn't exactly potatoes, but you know, close enough, man. So I had a little bit of an idea of how this would look. Also, man, this guy's just flying. It is like actually hard to keep up with him while he's harvesting. Now, I might need to use the other one with skinnier tires because it is slightly challenging not to hit his wheels there, or his header there, not wheels. Hit my wheels against his header. One tank of that was what, like 74,000 liters. What was the other one? Like 22? Yeah, it's like no contest. So the tank on that is bigger, the header is bigger, it moves quicker, which granted it is a mod, but still. So we are filling up this potato storage, man. Look at that. Dumping it right in. And that's probably just how we will be going about this in general, is gathering things up with our auger wagon and dumping it directly into this root crop storage. One thing we'll have to figure out is once we get some more fields that are just further and further away from the farm, it's not going to be as feasible to drive all the way up here and dump them in here. Now, I do have a semi truck and some trailers to go along with it, so that won't be too much of an issue. I didn't want to check. We have 74,000 liters of potatoes in there. Now with potatoes, it looks like we will be holding them until January. I want to sell at peak pricing, and that should be easy enough to take into town. We might even consider selling it to the fry shop and then just buying it afterwards to duplicate it. Also something I took advantage of in the Billionaire series. Very, very handy to do if you're going to be buying a production point to just duplicate everything. And that's something I'll probably demonstrate more later on. So you can see these folks are both running. I mean, the progress is just crazy different right now. These two are going for it. It's an all-out race, and the base game stands absolutely zero chance. You can see we're starting our down and backs here, going very, very well on this harvest. On the left, you can see one of our auger wagons on his way to offload them potatoes. Happy to see all these boys working together already. And I have a lot of hope in the future. Everything's looking really good the way we're setting it up right now. So you can see we are making some fantastic progress on these fields. This guy's doing a great job. The harvester over yonder's making slow but steady progress, as I kind of expected. Not exactly sure how accurate this is, but Courseplay has this thing at like 2 hours 20 minutes to do the whole field, which is oh boy, that is awful. That is truly, truly terrible. Oh, excuse me. No, it's 2 hours 20 minutes just to do the rest of this. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, we're not even halfway done. Now, one thing I think I am gonna go ahead and do is swap these two tractors around. Those wide tires on the bigger tractor over here actually proved to be a little more annoying than I thought they would be, to the point where I might even take them off, man. The AI did not play well with those, with that harvester up there. As I said earlier, potatoes sell really, really well, so it's gonna be really nice to be able to make a ton of money, even if these harvests take a long time. I think it's probably going to support getting some more harvesters early and just more tools and everything before, you know, getting a bunch of field that I'm just not gonna be able to manage very well. But yeah, harvest day, harvest day, harvest day. It's a long one, but you know, that's kind of what we signed up for. Potatoes take a while, man. Okay, I did want to observe. This is all AI, because a lot of this is just, like, early on, I want to do test runs, you know what I mean? I want to see what works, what doesn't work, that sort of thing. A lot of this will just need to be automated later on to where I don't even want to touch some of the potato harvests. I don't think we're going to be able to cover the entire map otherwise. Seems like this one works a lot better with it. Oh, yeah. On the other one, the wheel kept like bumping into the header. If I'm gonna run this one often with the blue harvester, I'll probably just take those extra wheels off, which is kind of a bummer, honestly, but if it makes it run easier, then I guess I'll do it. Won't be the end of the world, but it'll be a little sad, It's been kind of weird dumping everything off with the auger wagons, since you kind of have to have it at these weird angles. But hey, they're getting in there regardless. How we looking? Oh man, yeah, so we already have 840,000 liters of potatoes. That's a whole lot of potatoes, and we still have a lot of field left. We're not done with that field, and we still have like half of our other field. Oh boy, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of potatoes in my future. So there's not gonna be a real lack of money from these harvests, at least. There are gonna be a lot of expenses with this challenge, seeing as I need to get, you know, all the fields on the map, obviously. But then on top of that, just to make this challenge not like incredibly monotonous and boring, I want the harvest to go a bit quick, and I want the planting seasons to go a bit quicker than they normally would, which involves buying a lot more equipment. I might even buy another harvester before the next year's harvest. Probably at least another planter, if not two. We could definitely use all of that. Having fun working the farm though. It's a good time, but you can tell we could definitely use some more equipment to make this go quicker. Yeah, just looking at the field, I mean, I still have a lot of this one left. Also, the competition between base game stuff and modded stuff, I mean, this is just ridiculous because this is a smaller field by a decent amount. This is 26 acres. This is 33 acres. So it's another like 7 acres, or, you know, 6.5 acres. And it is finishing like significantly faster. It goes to show just how that working with can really affect it. You know what I mean? You know, I was just drawing something in auto drive. This dude came up and just started filling me up. What the hell? Bro, I didn't want potatoes. That's what I get for doing auto drive stuff, I guess. He just came right up and just put it all in there. Okay, I guess I'll take care of it, man. No problem. Man, what a troll. These workers, man. So 33 acres of potatoes, nearly fully harvested. Ooh, look at that. We're barely squeezing it, but it's working. Final pass. So exciting. Last time I checked, we were well over 1 million liters of potatoes deep in our root crop storage over there. So we are going to have a ton of money come selling season. Might have underestimated how big some of these fields are. I'm pretty sure this is like a ×4 map, meaning everything is 4 times bigger than it looks on the map, which maybe I should have considered while picking it. But I mean, I love this starting farm. I love this map. It's very pretty, and I love finishing up our very first field harvest. So many potatoes, man. So many potatoes. Modded versus base game is officially lost. It is gone. It wasn't much of a fight, but look at the difference. Look at the difference. That is crazy. That is a little embarrassing. That's all I'm gonna say. Now we are just getting there. Last couple passes for this guy, and I mean, look at this, man. Even cutting this in half, taking the bigger chunk, and this dude over here is still taking longer. I mean, it's what everybody expected. It's what I expected, but still, this just confirms it, man. I can't be relying on something so slow. These fields are way too big to be doing something like that, and we don't even own like 1/4 of the map yet, so there is going to be a lot more pain on the way if I'm using those red ones anymore. Definitely already would have been done if I was just using 2 of these blue ones here, but you know, we had to give it a fair shake. I think I've seen enough. I'm not too sad to be moving on. I'm thinking it's worth a lot of money. I'll see how it turns out after turning all these potatoes in, because we do have a ton of potatoes in storage. It's going to be worth a lot of money. So final pass for this dude right here. That should do it. As soon as he goes down to the end, that will be a full potato harvest. Oh, look at that. He is all done. Whole field taken care of. All right, empty him out, boy. Or just crash into the harvester. Ah! I tried. I did my best, man. I did my best. We'll bring this guy on back, and this is the very, very last of our potatoes. For the harvest of year 1, very successful. One thing I don't think we're going to be short on is money, because this is going to sell for a crazy amount of money. Even unproduced, it's going to sell for a ton. I'm pretty excited for when we can get those French fries flowing. We can feed the world their crispy, delicious French fries. Now, next up, we will need to cultivate these fields. Probably not today. I think I'll do that later in the year. Maybe even while we're harvesting the sunflowers, we'll get cultivating. I do have quite a few cultivators, one for like each of our tractors, so it shouldn't take too long. So we'll drive on over. We can do a little final tally of our potatoes here, and I will do it the fun way. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, but that is 1.741 million liters of potatoes. That is crazy amount of potatoes. So that thing is, there's a lot of potatoes in that shed, that silo right there. Whew. Overflowing with potatoes. I think we'll pull up to our beautiful home here. I mean, just take a look at this farm. It's just absolutely beautiful yet again, man. Those harvested potato fields, just oof, ooh baby. And I'm excited to get them sunflowers cut in October. Oh boy, look at that sunrise. It is a good day to be a potato farmer, man. But yeah, it is October, 8 a.m. looking beautiful out here in Iowa. Now today we actually have some non-potato, or more like potato adjacent things to take care of. It is the month for harvesting sunflowers, and we do have 2 fields of sunflowers here in ready to harvest, just like that. I will be selling some sunflowers today, and while that's not going to be a typical thing, I'm thinking I'm going to make the rule everything has to be potato or potato adjacent. So, I can't just be farming sunflowers and selling them all on my own. I have to be turning the sunflowers into sunflower oil and then into French fries, and I think that's how I'm going to go about things. Now we have a nice little case harvester here with a very nice sunflower specific header here. I've never actually used one of these before, so I'm pretty excited. The working width isn't huge, but we don't have like the biggest fields of sunflowers. But yeah, we'll just get this driven on over, man. We want to get this started right away. So while I might not be harvesting potatoes only, everything I'm going to be selling is going to be either a raw potato or a product of potatoes. So we'll likely be selling some sunflowers today, and I know it's not exactly potatoes, but everybody needs French fries, man. Everybody loves French fries. You're really going to tell me you're going to deny the world French fries, man? That is just messed up. That is messed up, man. So, because I don't hate the world, let's get on over here and get these all harvested. All right, let's see how this thing works here. Not the biggest working width, but goes really fast. 9 miles an hour is pretty good. So we are just flying. We're getting all them sunflowers. Look at it. Look at it dumping all that in there. It's that nice dark color. It's just a little header, but these fields really aren't so big. It's maybe something we could upgrade eventually, but for right now, I think this is more than adequate. Now, I do just have one little trailer in terms of what my tractor will pull, but I do have a much bigger trailer and a semi in that barn right there. I also have a little bit of a somewhat hidden surprise in the other barn there. You never know what's gonna happen on the potato farm, besides me harvesting a whole bunch of potatoes. You kind of know that's coming, but sometimes we get surprises too. One thing about sunflower farming is I did not realize they wait until these things are like dead. I really thought I would be cutting these when they're at their fullest, like in the middle of summer when they're all bright and shining towards the sun, but these are some very dead sunflowers. But I suppose that's what you need to make some oil, man. It's kind of weird. I keep thinking I'm off base because I'm like shooting the straw out there and it's going on to the next row. So I keep thinking I'm missing it, but then I realize some of it's just dark and some of it's light, but I'm not actually missing anything. Now, while we're driving back here, we do have that one other field of sunflowers over there, and that's really it. So I'm not anticipating a ton of sunflowers today. I'll let an AI drive that off, and we actually have some stuff in here that I do want to show off. So I don't think this is what this intended purpose was. This is supposed to be like a potato storage or something. I don't really know. I mean, we can open up our little door here. Look at what we got in here. We got the fleet. It's probably ridiculous to have this amount of trailers for one semi truck, but hey man, we'll probably be expanding this out a lot, so we'll see. You can see we got a Lizard Motors TLX Phoenix. Oh yeah, look at this. So yeah, we got a little semi truck action going on in here. I'll just drive on over. We do have a nice shiny Superior trailer here. It's a 40-foot dump trailer. It should hold more than enough of these sunflower seeds. So we got our all hooked up, raised it on up. Hopefully don't run into anything else, but probably will. It's some pretty heavy duty machinery, but you know, I think it's for a heavy duty job. We are going to be transporting quite a lot of potatoes with this thing. This will be our main form of transporting them around the map, and likely will be an offload point just as we get further and further away from our home base here. Now, I'm probably not going to be using this right yet because I do want to get the rest of our sunflowers going, but I just thought I'd get it out, drive her around, get some air, you know what I mean? It hasn't been driven around at all thus far, so thought it would be beneficial to get it out. We're going to be using it to transport all those sunflowers today. So yeah, exciting stuff. And actually, while I'm on the subject, that is something I definitely want to get more of. I need more planters, man. I need like an entire fleet of potato vehicles to make this all feasible. So that's probably something I will buy right away. I really liked like the wider green one. That one is modded pretty heavily, you know. It is very realistic, and I hate the in-game ones. As we've established, I hate the in-game ones, so I mean, I might even buy like 2 of them, 2 or 3 even. Just matters what we can handle, what we can't handle. We obviously have a decent amount of tractors as well to pull those around, and I think all of our tractors besides the one that's right in front of me here can actually run them, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem to get these all planted. So nearly our first field of sunflowers down. As I said, we'll probably just get these immediately over to the oil mill and get that bought and just get our oil producing. That is one thing I could consider getting started like immediately. Pretty much as soon as we have some sunflower oil, I would like to get our French fries production going. I am just loving this map. Look at the farm here with the fields, and of course fall. I didn't mention it earlier, but all the trees and the fall colors. I don't know if I've ever said this before in my entire life, but this has me wanting to visit Iowa. Someone commented recently that they, you know, saw some farming happening in real life just while they were driving through a remote section, and like how excited they got. And what's so funny is this actually just happened to me the other day too. I was driving through, you know, a slightly more remote area around my city. Where I was going, they actually had a small farm, and I looked out there, and of all things, I saw them mowing like a hay field and making some silage bales. And I got unreasonably excited to the point where I almost pulled the car over onto the shoulder of the freeway just to take a look, you know? It's really cool. If you've been following the Broke to Billionaire series, which there is a new episode out, episode 20 is the most recent one while I'm recording this. Very exciting stuff. Can't believe there's 20 of them. But yeah, if you've been following that, you know that silage bales were a big part of everything so far, and silage in general has been a very big part of the series, so go check that out. Of course, we got another field to harvest, man. I can't just let those farmers in real life do all the farming. I gotta do a little bit too. It's probably gonna be a good idea to expand this out just a little bit more than I have right now. Obviously just the tiniest little fields right here, not even like a fourth of my total acreage on sunflowers, but I'll just have to see how much sunflowers I actually need to get the amount of sunflower oil I need for potatoes. I'm guessing I'm gonna need a lot. Maybe out of the 2 of them, I would assume I need more potatoes than I do sunflower oil. I mean, it makes sense if you think about it. You're cutting a lot more potatoes to make the fries than oil to boil them all in, because you can reuse oil a certain amount of times and all that sort of stuff. Did I say boil them in? I meant fry them in, man. I mean, you'll get it. It's kind of similar to boiling, right? Right? Absolutely everybody disagreeing with me right now. What else is new? Once again, just appreciating the beautiful fall colors. That really is one of my favorite times of year. I don't know about y'all, but I love fall. I love the colors. I like that kind of change of season when it starts to, you know, it's still sunny, but you don't quite have the heat from the summer, at least around where I live. Starts to cool down just a little bit, but you still get them sunny days. I like Halloween, I like Thanksgiving, and I like football. I'm an NFL man myself. It's a good time that time of year, you know? Lots to look forward to. The smells, the flavors. I love, you know, some of that pumpkin flavored stuff. This whole episode, I think I'm just gonna be talking about fall colors, man. Feel free to let me know what season you like, why you like it. Could depend where you live, I don't know. Our falls are pretty nice around here, so so that's why I tend to enjoy it. And hey, here's just an idea, man. While you're down there, see that little subscribe button? Why don't you give her a click? Farmer Taters sure would appreciate that. So I will get this guy up here and offloaded, and that will be it for harvesting today, at least. So final tally, by the way, just under 64,000 liters of sunflowers. So nothing crazy, not a crazy amount. I think that's something we could definitely bring up, and it would benefit us a lot. Now the oil mill is right here in town, so just a short little drive away, really not too far or anything. These fields are a lot bigger than they look. This is one of those like 4x maps, so everything's a bit bigger than it first appears. We can cut through the vehicle store here, the John Deere store. How you doing, boys? I don't know if they'd appreciate a semi-truck carrying this amount of product driving right through, but you know, whatever. We are here at the oil mill, and I will get this all offloaded. I think we're just gonna go ahead and sell things. I didn't even really check the price. It's not at its peak till February, so it's a big old dump truck. So it is offloading ever so slowly. Look at the money going up. And look at that. Oh, $141,000. Yeah, so that will more than pay for everything. So I will go over here, and yeah, I mean, let's just get this bought, man. I want to get things produced. So look at this, only halfway full. We could have actually done a whole lot more there. We're never going to be doing these, so I'll just go ahead and deactivate those. Yeah, we will get the sunflower oil going. The first bit, at least, will be stored just on pallets and stuff like that. But after that, I'm really not going to have to come around here and grab any pallets. It's pretty much all going to be set to distributing, which, I mean, I guess I could just, you know, put that on distributing now. That's all going to be sent to the fry store once we're able to, you know, produce things. Nothing really too much else to get done here, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take a little snooze. But yeah, man, I'll see all you just in time for selling them potatoes. Well, good morning, everybody. It is January, actually of year 2 this time, and whoo boy, it's a snowy one. 8:16 in the morning, only 2 degrees outside. Very cold, very cold. Looks like it's only getting up to 16 degrees today. A little bit of a snowy drive on the horizon today. So we actually got some fun stuff to do today. I'm liking driving around in the snow, by the way. As you can see, it is potato selling season here, January. Now, we could maximize profits just a little bit more, and I highly doubt the fry shop is going to be able to hold everything, but we'll probably be doing a little bit of duplication yet again. So our sunflower oil, I neglected to move things around. It did produce like that entire time. So it is full. It only produced about 20,000 there, but once we get the fry shop bought, which we will be doing today, we won't need to worry about that anymore. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this all offloaded. We got a lot of potatoes in here. I somehow forgot that potatoes aren't in there, so we will do the more appropriate thing of actually grabbing our potatoes. All right, so this is the little like offload here. It's literally just potatoes and sugar beets in there. So you can see there's like a little conveyor belt system in there. These potato storage systems are actually pretty cool. They use big conveyor belts to put them all in, and they like spray them into a big pile, and it moves back and forth. I was watching a video about it the other day, preparing for this series, obviously, and not just recreationally. So look at that. We get a solid 90,000 liters of potatoes there. So we need to drive back into town here to the fry shop, and this is going to be a common destination for us. Obviously, we're going to be bringing potatoes there quite a lot. You can see it's kind of down to the bottom, to the southern end of town. So I'll have to think about what the quickest way to get there is. Yeah, we want to keep, oh boy, took out a street sign right next to my field. Do you think they'll know it's me, man? But for now, let's just see about delivering this. I'm not even sure what the storage capacity looks like there. We're gonna be making a whole lot of money today. I can't even imagine how much all this will be sliding all over the road. Whoo boy. Alrighty, just coming up here. We're in town a little bit more, and I see a little fry shop icon there. So we should be able to just drop things off right here. Oh yeah, look at that. So start overloading potatoes, and just like that, here is our very first potato sale. Ooh. Woo, how exciting. So this is 90,000 liters of potatoes, of 1.7 million liters, by the way. Oh man, yeah, that's gonna be a lot of money per run. You can see the cash is just skyrocketing. Okay, so 56,000 per trip. That's gonna be very nice. And obviously this isn't even like the maximum amount that we can expect per run. There are places that buy it for more, but I'm obviously planning on buying this, so we might as well just like, you know, duplicate things while we can. In the meantime, I do believe we have some pallets to pick up here. So we got a few pallets of our sunflower oil here. As you can see, look at all of that sunflower oil. So pretty, so pretty. I'm just grabbing some of this with the truck while it's down here. I won't have a ton of pallets to grab, unfortunately, but got a few, so might as well grab them while we're here. I say as I completely flip the pickup truck. I was just talking about how how snowy and icy it's got to be, so it's not too surprising. So I got the sunflower oil here. I will just drive her up, get all this sold. Nothing too bad. A little $20,000. We got a few more pallets to bring on over, and obviously more potatoes as well. So second delivery of our potatoes, that was literally it. It appears this thing is totally full. So with this thing being completely full, I was wondering why it wasn't offloading, and then I realized what the problem was. We have already filled this thing with potatoes to the brim, so it is time to go ahead and buy our fry shop. Oh baby, so exciting. $40,000 is all it took. It really isn't too expensive. So now you can see we got French fries going, 100,000 liters of potatoes, nearly 10,000 liters of sunflower oil. So we were able to duplicate quite a lot. And you can see we already got potatoes processing into French fries. So we do have a whopping 1.7 million liters of potatoes to move here. And to move all of that through this, that would take like multiple years, probably like 5 or 6 years. So I might actually just upgrade this guy right away. We obviously have a ton of money, and I would like to get French fries going. I think it's going to be a lot of money for us. So I think I am just going to go ahead and get that upgraded, just double the processing speed and potato storage and everything. So now that I actually care about price, obviously I was just selling to the fry shop for very obvious reasons. It looks like Ravenport, which is the train station. I will go get this guy filling up with the rest of the potatoes, or you know, another load of them, and work on getting trucking down there. Nearly 9 a.m. now. It's negative 17 degrees, a little chilly. Driving some potatoes through this blizzard. We are just selling off the rest of these potatoes to the Ravenport, which is a seller that you have to ship by train. That is why we are taking these. We are dumping them off over there, and they will actually come right along here on these train tracks if this guy doesn't go careening off the road. Maybe a little bit of a tight turn for a big semi, but you know, it works. On this blistery January morning, it might be time to say goodbye to, well, I don't know if I would consider this an old friend, but yeah, I'm talking about this guy. I might just take this in, get it sold. I don't want to harvest with this again. All right, well, say goodbye, everybody, to the Grim Ventor 4150. Say goodbye, at least for now. The John Deere boys are taking her back home. This is where I would normally put a dramatic best moments of using the Grim, but I didn't like using that thing very much, so that won't exist. On to greener pastures, man. Huh, haven't seen that before. It would appear my semi-truck is floating in the air and a terrible accident has taken place. Well, this should be an interesting one to figure out. If you are a trucker and you're in this situation, what do you do? Yeah, that seems about right. Turn on the windshield wipers, I think. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I like the door swinging. Okay. Yeah, we'll we'll figure this out. We got to get these potatoes out, man. All right, back at it. Don't ask me how I got it unfixed. You don't want to know. Been trucking here and hit a little bit of a unique problem. It appears that the silo here is completely filled with potatoes. It doesn't let me overload it anymore, so I'm just assuming that it is completely full. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead here and get this train rented, see what we can't get shipped off. I'll do what I can here at Ravenport. It does pay a good bit more, but anything extra we can just ship off to one of the other ones. I'm not worried that much about min-maxing everything, and this is is starting to become a day where I'm going to every location on the map just trying to offload all these potatoes, man. At some point, I'm just looking for somebody to take these things, man. So we got 500,000 liters. That appears to be the maximum. I assume that's how much the train can hold. So let's fill this up before we worry about what's in the truck. This is gonna be a whole lot of money all at once, man. I'm pretty excited for it. Are there any more? I think that's it. So the train can only hold 300,000. The back two are just for like pallets and stuff like that. So I think our plan right now is I'm gonna just go ahead and sell this right here. I'm going to offload what's in our trailer into the storage there because there should be right around 200,000 liters of potatoes left. Ooh, 190,000. That is awesome. So now we have a good, what, 57,000 liters in this one. So we should be just shy of 300,000 again. So I'm gonna offload this, and I'm actually going to get another train rented. So we will get this guy sold and then probably start looking at Jackson's farm. Let's see, what is it, about 3:40, nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 15:40. We will get these boys going again. The snow did let up. It got up to a very, very warm 13 degrees, but it is actually a beautiful day. I do love a nice crisp winter morning where it's still nice and cold, but a little sunny, maybe a few less clouds than this, but a nice crisp winter morning. Was thinking about getting cultivating started today after that snow let up, but I mean, there is still a lot of snow on the ground. You need to let that melt. Let the ground warm up before we can, dig it all up. I don't know a ton about farming, but I feel like that would be really, really hard on your tools to dig in the frozen ground like this. All right, first delivery here. We will get this offloaded, dumping out them potatoes. Do wish this thing dumped a little quicker, but I guess when you're carrying around 100,000 liters of potatoes, that's a lot of potatoes, man, so it's a little bit of a slow process. I like this little farm. It's cool. All right, one run there was $56,000. Gonna be a whole lot more of those. Making good money today. So filling up here, and I do believe this should be our final delivery of potatoes. Had about 60,000 potatoes left in the old silage tank there, and as you can see with that money, oh baby. So we are done. We are done with the sale, the grand potato sale. It was fun doing the sale today in these wintry conditions. Haven't made too many sale days in the middle of like a blizzard. So next up for us in our journey here, first of all, we got to appreciate that money. Have 1.5 million in the bank. I think I won't be using this again for a little bit, so we'll get that unhooked there. I'll probably be doing some planting very soon, and by probably I mean definitely. I will be using this planting setup over here, which is looking really puny. So look at that money, $1.5 million. Amazing. In terms of finances here, look at that, near just under $1 million just in pure raw potato sales. On top of that, did make that, a little bit of money from selling the sunflower oil, another 45,000. A little bit of property income just from our generators that should, just continue to go up. We sold that harvester for about 350,000. Top of that, just a few other little expenses here and there, nothing crazy. And on the day, $1.3 million. Big old sale, man. So we got some fun stuff to do. I will probably get that cultivation started next month. It does look like it's supposed to snow again up on the forecast there. So another blizzard on the way. Good thing I can stay nice and comfy in my lovely farm here. Potatoes are the name of the game once again. Just a few months ago, we did a giant sell-off of our potatoes and got French fry production all ramped up and started. I've used some of those gains since. You can see we still have over $1 million in our bank account, so a lot of gains left. But on my right, I have added to our little solar park, our little solar farm. There's also a little radio tower over there I had the boys put up. Get us a little bit of money month to month while these potatoes grow. Now, speaking of which, March is the month for planting these potatoes. However, all of our fields are still harvested and need to be cultivated and ripped up before we can put more taters in the ground. So with us needing to rip up these fields, I do believe it is time to unveil some secret machinery that has just been chilling out in this little barn to my left. Haven't really needed it thus far. far, so no reason to break it out. But hey, today is the day, man. Look at this little barn here. We have a very nice John Deere tractor in the middle. We got a sprayer over there, and we got a big, gigantic cultivator right here. People are probably very familiar with this one right here, but it is the John Deere 9470. It is a big old John Deere. I think it might actually be one of the biggest tractors they make. Now, it has a pretty big job. Today, it is going to be using this cultivator that I definitely can hook up. With it being March, the snow is finally gone. The ground is not as cold, and we can prepare this ground for planting more potatoes. Since it's March, it is the month for both cultivating and planting. Ideally, I'd like to cultivate a little sooner, but it has been a very snowy winter, man, I'll tell you that much. So with all this money in our pocket, I can tell you right now, we're definitely going to be expanding out, probably into this corner over here, and then maybe that field over there. Expand outwards from where we started here on our beautiful little farm. So I will get this big, gigantic cultivator all unloaded and get everything starting to get ripped up. Our friend here starting to cultivate. Gonna make some pretty quick progress, even though this field is gigantic. That's a very big cultivator. It's going to be able to rip up the ground at a great efficient rate. Get our other John Deere working on this field. As I mentioned, I might get this corner bot, or at least part of it. Maybe field 14, maybe field 8. The one nice part about those is they both actually are already planted with potatoes. It is also the month for planting sunflower, as you can see, so we're going to be planting those as well. So while we're working here on the potato farm, it's obviously been quite a lot of time since I've been on here. Some time has passed, some new things have been installed. Just at a glance, I did install precision farming, just enabled that. It's a really fun DLC that I've been using a little bit on Broke to Billionaire recently, and I just really can't even imagine farming without it at this point. So I think that's going to be one that's just going to be a staple for my Farming Simulator 22 runs. I realized I went right by where I was trying to go with this guy right here. The plow is actually behind the planter right there. So this planter is going to get some action today, and we're probably going to end up getting another planter or two. The key part of this farm is just equipment. I need a lot of it to make it so these things don't just take like 4 hours each to get any of these fields done. So we do have a nice plow here. It's not like the biggest thing in the world, so I might not use it for an entire field, but it's going to be really great for plowing some of those fields together, getting us some real big acreage. Now we do have a good substantial amount of money in my pocket. I'm gonna go ahead and put that to use today. I mentioned it earlier, but this plot right here, field 8, it does have potatoes on it already. It's gonna cost us $430,000. I think this is just a complete no-brainer. We gotta just get this bought and into the fold, so I am buying that right now. So before anything else here, I actually noticed something in our productions. Obviously, we got French fries going. We got a good amount already in our storage. I haven't been too familiar with how things sell or what months they sell, but March is actually the peak for potatoes here, and you can see the town store, which obviously I've never sold to before, is well above that peak. So I should probably go get those potatoes sold, get us some money in our pockets, and start funding these expansions that I've been trying to do. So we got quite a few pallets here. Maybe should have got a trailer out here as well, but whatever. We got the bed of the pickup for a reason, man. Well, we were able to get a couple pallets, and that's a whole lot of French fries, man. 2,000 liters in the back of the truck. In fact, I don't even need to have the bed down for that. So the town store is just up the street here. Should be on the left. I have a lot of French fries there in the back, man. You can see those pallets. Look at all those delicious Taterman original French fries. They don't call me Mr. Taters for nothing. So this should be the sell point right here, if I'm not mistaken. It is the town store. It should do her. We'll get these sold right quick. All right, so our sold products, we made 17,000 right there just from those. We also got an environmental score reward. I don't really know what that means. I assume it's precision farming, but who knows? I'll take the extra 200 bucks though, why not? And looky here, sold products, over $1 million in French fries sold right there. And that was just from, you know, the past few months of productions. We are going to have a lot more next year. Probably leave our good old French fry shop on auto sell for now, let it clear out its stock for the day, and then get them stored up for another big sale next March. So first things first, let's get some more land bought. Now I talked about these. I think this just makes too much sense. I'm just gonna buy all these. I have plenty of money for it. They really aren't too expensive either. Could get a weirdly long field here. It might make a lot of sense. As well as just adding these two together probably makes a lot of sense. So let's get them bought as well. We already got a good portion of the map bought though. It's pretty exciting stuff. And while we're at it, you know what? These two fields, let's get them into the fold too. I think this will just be Sunflower Central as well as these two strips. And we'll make the main bulk of it potatoes. So yeah, welcome in. We're spending like all of our money, man. Okay, so we went from what, like 1.7 mil down to 166,000. Not good. So with those fields bought, I do believe it is plowing time. Let's get us some big old fields, baby. Get it nice and straightened out, and we're getting things started here. So it's just running this guy straight down. We don't need to go around the bend or anything. We're just combining these two fields right here. I'll have to worry about these in-betweens on this guy, but that's a problem for after we plow these together. It's nice that this field to my right doesn't need to worry about planting. Dreading how long that might take, but we'll handle it. It'll be okay. We're gonna have a lot more land to farm this year, and last year took long enough, which means we're going to be investing heavily into some more equipment. Once we get down to the other end, it's just gonna be connecting everything, and just like that, we got one big mega field. After this guy's connected, I'm just gonna buzz down and do the same thing with our kind of four corners field down there. Ooh, that was a long drive, but here we are. Oh, okay, now just the other direction, and we're good here. This one might take a couple passes, but it is considerably less short than what we just drove there. So far, you can barely see the render distance. Been busy at work here, getting all of our fields plowed together and cultivated. Taking a quick look, you can see we got a nice strip right here. We got a nice strip right here. These two are together, and these four are together. Everything has been ripped up and cultivated. So right now, the only planting equipment that we have is this guy for sunflowers and that guy for potatoes. Definitely gonna get some more equipment. We have an insane amount of acreage now, so we're gonna get a couple of those at least. Everybody is hooked up here with their different machines. I do need to use the big double track tractor here for using the sunflower planter that we leased out. I'll get this boy juiced up with some seeds and with some fertilizer. Get him on one of the bigger sunflower fields. We also still have that small planter from last year that's hooked up with our smallest tractor right over yonder. We'll probably put him here on the left. I don't know how quickly he's going to be able to handle everything though. There is a buy point nearby for all of our fertilizer needs. I think they have seed too, but I'm going to use these seeds here at our ranch first. But yeah, getting everything seeded up here, and we'll probably just get right to planting. Actually, before anything else, I almost forgot that this guy needs to fill up with those potatoes. Our seed offload here, you got to love that. So I assume we'll probably just use all of our potatoes. I didn't leave a crazy amount of them, so unfortunately I doubt it'll fill this up all the way or anything like that, but maybe, we shall see. Now that we got everybody all filled up and we've been working for a little bit, you can see this field right here coming along nicely with the sunflowers, making excellent progress, even though this is like the longest field known to man. This guy also planting some sunflowers, although at a much, much slower pace. Yeah, poor guy has his work cut out for him today, huh? Have a little delivery truck over here as well. I got a nice tanker filled with liquid fertilizer for filling things up. On top of our little fertilizer fill up here with the tanker, we also have a nice auger wagon with just the leftovers of our potatoes. Probably get these boys filled up out here. They're a little bit below half on their tanks of potatoes to put in the ground. Now, I've never seen this before, but parts of where we plant, there's like this little green on top. I wonder if that, I've heard of row washing. I wonder if that's what it is. I honestly have no idea what it is. Regardless though, getting these boys filled up with potatoes and getting the rest of this field covered. You can see we probably have a little over half of it done already. Pretty cool little site here. Both of these boys working side by side. That's just going to be a calling card of this series, man. We're going to be doing a lot more multi-tool per field harvests and planting sessions, seeing as how long it takes and how skinny some of our tools are. Anyway, I'll get this covered. Close to the end of a very, very long planting day. You can see this field. It definitely has a few patches here and there that aren't quite planted. One thing I have noticed about these planters is they don't seem to do so well on not flat land. They're kind of long, not super weighted down, so they have trouble reaching, like right there. It's on and lowered, but I just can't quite seem to get it down far enough. So I think it's an elevation thing. They just can't quite reach it sometimes. I think it's if one of the wheels is up, the middle doesn't quite touch down far enough. So we're gonna have a few of these little, you know, gaps here and there, but trying to cover it where I can. But you can see I'm going over it right there and it's just not making much of a difference. It's all good though. We are going to end up with a whole lot of potatoes at the end of this, so I am not too worried. So I think next step is probably that liming, which I think I'll get to tomorrow. I'll give the fields a little bit of a rest today. We'll still be able to drive on them tomorrow. So I'll get any fertilizing and liming done then. Let's get that in there. Yeah, snug as a bug in a rug, man. Good morning, farmers. It is here April, 6 a.m. Beautiful little morning. I was just taking a look at our little rows of potatoes over here. So I am going to get that taken care of today. I do have a nice lime and fertilizer spreader in mind to take care of these fields. It is self-propelled, so I don't even need to worry about using it with a tractor, which is very, very nice. It is this guy right here. It is the Trident, the Case Trident. It's kind of a weird looking device, but what you can do is you can put a number of things on the back. Has both a dry system and a liquid system. We're going to be sticking with the dry for now, although I really do like the look of the liquid one as well, so we might just move into that. So got a little tool here, a lifting tool, and then the dry box itself. Also just a little telehandler here. You can see my guy looks pretty funny in this thing, but yeah, this is all just to get it loaded on there. Now it's easy enough to just use a super strength mod or something and just lift it on there, but I figure at least once I could do it like this. This is kind of how you just do it. You get the little like fork looking thing here, and then we're just going to attach. You can see, oh man, it is really swinging, huh? Get that raised on up. Hopefully I have enough like space here. You just want to get it all lined up here on the back. Ideally you can get everything lined up pretty well, but I mean that's looking pretty good to me. Now let's see. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. So it is all installed. That's how you do it with the telehandler. I think would have been helpful if I got a slightly bigger one, but hey, this all did the job pretty well. It is kind of fun using telehandlers now and again, but if I'm changing this thing out repeatedly, I don't know if I'm gonna use this kind of weird little setup. It is fun though, and oh man, look at my guy go. So everything you see to the left and to the right is all field that I just planted this last month. Really stretches far. I forgot how far that stretches down into that little dip. It's a really pretty map though. I mean, look at that. Don't mind the patches in the middle of the field. We don't need to talk about that. One unfortunate thing I did notice, and it is not going to be remedied anytime soon, is our french fries have already ceased production. We burned through all our sun sunflower oil already. Did have a feeling that was going to happen, but we're actually working our way through the potatoes pretty quickly too. It's going to be nice to have a big infusion of everything later this year, but I'm pretty sure the oil mill is completely out of sunflowers too, so we are not going to be in the French fry business for a few more months at the very least. And just like that, all started. Does look like these boys definitely need the lime, and we're gonna be going through it. These are some big fields. Luckily, this has a really wide working range. That's really helpful for speeding this process up. Lots of linemen to do today. Good morning to all the farmers and welcome back to Iowa. I decided to do a little flyover to show our crops. They are ready to harvest. You can see all those beautiful little bald spots we got down on the field. But man, look at this map. Look at this farm. There are a lot of potatoes growing down there, man, and we got to get right to it. So back down here on the farm, you can see these potatoes are nice and well grown. They are in their remove foliage state, aka ready to harvest. They just need to have that stuff chopped off the top. But luckily our harvesters, aka harvester more accurately, can handle that just fine. Now the reason I say harvester is because we literally just have one right now. So obviously that is not going to cut it for the day. I don't know if you saw what I saw, man, but we have a lot of potatoes to get harvested today. Now we obviously still have our Homer here. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is probably get another 1 or 2 of these. Pretty much the only reason that our last harvest was bearable was because of this harvester compared to the in-game ones. I think investing in several more of these harvesters in the meantime is probably going to make a lot of sense. Might even go up to 4 just so we can have 2 running on each field, and that's going to make a lot of sense to me. We are about to have a lot of potatoes, man. Alright, so this farmhand is on his way getting harvesting started right here, and I'm going to go ahead and get a few more of these guys leased out. Alright, so I even drove this blue one back from his harvesting route there. Look at this lineup of harvesters. How awesome is that? All of them ready to go, getting the fields harvested of potatoes. So I'm going to put 2 on each field and just go from there. We technically only have 2 fields here, but they are very big fields. Offloaded a little bit of potatoes while I'm over here, but I'll get this guy back on his business. Pretty cool to have the ability to have 2 of these harvesters working on the same field. It's going to speed things up a lot. They really do fly across this field, which is very nice. Offloading them might be a little bit more challenging, and I think I'm probably going to need some more auger wagons and definitely another semi. We do need to scale everything up because we did buy a lot of land this year, but we might even be buying some more. But with those guys kind of starting on the home field, I gotta get these 2, which is, they're kind of like Christmas colors, you know? They got the red and the green. We'll call them the Christmas brothers. We gotta get them on over to the 4 Corners field and get that going as well. Lots to do, lots to do. Definitely will be setting both auger wagons at the very least to offload these guys. Now we only have 2 auger wagons right now, so that's probably something else I'm going to need to scale up a little bit. I do remember the double wheel on the other tractor over there causing a bit of an issue with offloading. The pipe just wasn't long enough on the harvester to have it reach, so I'm probably going to need to take care of that, as well as get rid of these seeds that I totally forgot were still in here. Got a random pile of seeds now. Well, I do love that wheel. I think I'm probably just going to get it removed here just so we can offload a bit more effectively. So took that off. Maybe looks a little more naked than it used to, but still a nice looking tractor here. Got us a nice lineup of auger wagons here. Had to match the colors, you know. That's just classic stuff right there. So I am going to get this grabbed and get out into the field. Get offloading these guys. Now the one thing here is I do have more more auger wagons than I have tractors that can run them. It was something that I was already thinking about doing, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and get another tractor. I need another one with some high horsepower, kind of like our big double track tractor over there. I always forget what the numbers are with that one, but I'll probably just get another one leased out at the very least, probably purchased in the long run. So as I said, getting another tractor here. It's the John Deere 9R. It's a big boy tractor, and I think it's going to do everything that I am going to want. So yeah, this might be overkill, but I think scaling up early is not going to be a problem, seeing as we are going to need all of these pieces of equipment as I catch some air there. Nothing like breaking in a brand new tractor by, you know, sending it airborne. So here at 6:30 in the morning, it's been a busy, expensive morning getting all this leased out. These two are working, making really good progress on the home field. The two boys out there somewhere, you can see one of them right there, is going on the Four Corners map. We have two auger wagons right there just waiting for offloading these guys. Even though these potato fields are big, using some of this really nice modded equipment, I'm really happy some of these mods exist. Using that stuff has made this just into a way less painful process, even though we still very much need you know, multiple harvesters and everything like that. It's also pretty fun. I haven't done too much multiple harvesters, especially on the same field. You know, sometimes I'll run one while the AI is kind of working on it at the same time, but Courseplay has this pretty cool feature where you can have multiple implements on the same field and it'll map it out so they don't even, like, you know, touch each other or anything like that, which I think is pretty cool. Here we are around noon in August, and look at these big empty fields, man. We have been hard at work getting all them potatoes out of the ground, and we are just now offloading the remainder of it. AI actually worked pretty well together today. I was mostly happy with it. I mean, there's always a few snags here and there. Did film quite a lot of it. I actually went and made dinner at the same time while they were working. Obviously did a decent amount of it myself as well. I like driving these guys back and forth, but it's very convenient for using multiple tools on the same field to kind of just let the AI process a bit. I do enjoy playing Farm Manager and just getting them all set up and ready to go. But regardless, we do have all these potatoes out of the ground, and we are just now delivering the very last of it here. Now we are just offloading the last of this. I don't even know where I'm going to park all these things, honestly. Actually, I do have two barns right here that will be perfect for them, so I will get them all parked in here. The way everything works out with these barns is very nice. I can park the auger wagons and the harvesters all in the same barn, so we should have more than enough space despite getting a lot more equipment. Now, speaking of potatoes, and as I finally get this guy parked in here, I do believe it is time to get a final tally. Went ahead and parked the semi truck here with the you know, rest of the potatoes that couldn't quite fit into our production point here. So we got a solid, what, 20,000 liters in there. So in addition to that, 200,000 liters in the French fry shop, which appears to be its upper limit, which wow, we are going to need to upgrade this some more, because I can tell you we have a lot more than 200,000 liters. And look at that. Oh man, 5 million liters of potatoes in storage. I think the plan is to try to process as many of those as possible into French fries. Very successful day, and we do have sunflower harvesting tomorrow. I might even do some cultivation, maybe some, you know, fertilizing, that sort of thing. Just getting the field ready for planting season. So here we are, October year 3, just before 9 a.m. in the morning. A beautiful fall. It is just our second year here, getting done with our second harvest and getting into a fatal car crash on our own farm. Now, as you can see, we got a field of very dead sunflower, which means it is time to harvest. These fields are pretty funny because they just go like as far as your eye can see. Now, we do have a harvester already. However, it is a bit small for what we're doing at this point in the series. Just like with the harvesters and and stuff like that, I do believe it is time for a bit of an upgrade there. Been taking a look at some of the harvesters, and I'm loving the look of the John Deere S7. And while John Deere doesn't make any sunflower specific headers like the one we currently have, we can use a nice corn header here, and it cuts the sunflowers just fine. So we will get that leased out as well. All right, got these boys on the farm here. Look how big that header is. Oh man. So between our two fields that have sunflowers on them, this strip right here and this strip right here, this one is a lot bigger, so I will put this guy on right here. The one nice thing is I believe our auger wagons can actually be used for offloading these guys as well. Now normally this would take out your corn pretty bad, but not in farming sim, luckily enough. Ooh, the unfolding. Each one comes down. I've never seen that before. Okay, that's cool. So I can kind of just get a cut started here. You can see we are going to make some quick work of these fields. We go real fast, big working radius. You gotta love it. You can see we are making some fantastic progress already. I got both auger wagons set up. Now one thing is, new harvester always means some sort of issue, just like that. With the auger wagon just directly running into him. These AI, man, they are out for blood sometimes, I swear. One thing I did want to get accomplished today while that harvest is going on is at least start our cultivation. We can dig up that ground before it starts to get into the snowy season. It's very, very cold in Iowa, apparently, here on the Iowa Plains view map. So I'll get this guy hooked up, and it's probably worth getting another cultivator as well. I don't know if I'm going to get this exact same one, but this is a, oh my, wow. We really sent that thing airborne a little bit. This cultivator is from Giant Software. It's one of the mods on the mod hub. I can't remember exactly what it's called right now. So it's a pretty decent one. I wanted to give it a whirl. I like testing out the, official mods by Giants, see what they're putting out there for everyone. In terms of cultivators, you can see this is the one we're using right now, the Bednar Swifter. And there's another mod that I've been trying to, have an excuse to use. It's the Flexicoil ST820. It's kind of a crazy looking device. I figure we can give it a whirl. Why not? So I'll get this guy unfolded out. It looks so like some sort of like medieval death trap when it's all folded up. But yeah, time to get this guy ripped up as well. Whole lot of acreage out here. Some really beautiful rolling hills as well. Now there might only be 400 liters of sunflower oil in there, but hey, that is more than enough to get production started again on our beloved French fries. I'll do a big delivery here of all of our sunflower, make sure it all gets into the oil mill. I do not want to be waiting again for all that sunflower oil and halting the French fry production, because I know McDonald's or whoever we're supplying here is not going to be happy with me if production stops on their precious French fries. Delivering our sunflower seeds finally after a long harvest day here. We got them all in there, and we can take a little look. Upgraded this just a little bit, but you can see 300,000 liters of sunflowers in there. We should be able to produce a lot more sunflower oil than potatoes after getting those upgrades kind of right, but everything's looking good. And it's just crazy to think that we could actually use a lot more sunflowers to keep up with that oil. I kind of thought that would be enough. I thought expanding it out would be enough, but we're just gonna have to get some more fields and make them dedicated to sunflowers, even though we are producing a whole lot more potatoes. Oh boy, is it a snowy one here in Iowa. We're here in February, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 14:01 military time. I haven't used this trailer too much, but it is used for our pallets here, of which I have many from the French fry production that has been cranking all winter. And look at this thing bounce up and down. This is pretty funny. This thing was not meant for deep snow driving. We have our potato fields over here all ripped up. Oh my. Whoo, treacherous driving. That's what you get for yapping and driving on an icy day. And a lot of people walking around for it being, 11 degrees in the middle of a blizzard, huh? Then again, I'm out here picking up my french fries. Got our side curtain door open here. We got a few pallets of potatoes already. Plenty of room for more, as you can see all the way through here. And they're just going to keep popping out for the time being. I'm going to load up a bit of these and get ready to get them delivered this next month. Early in the morning here in March, now of year 4. As you can see here, parked the trailer filled to the brim with pallets, which, let me open up that side door. I have like a half empty pallet there, but yeah, it is filled to the brim. There are a whole lot of these potatoes to be sold. Got a lot more in here, 475,000 liters and counting of the potatoes being made right now. The top seller yet again, just like last year, is the town store, which is just up the road here, but with all this snow, it is a Herculean task just to get over there. All right, got there eventually. This is going to take a bit to all get sold down, but you can see it's slowly getting there. And hoo boy, the money, that is that is absolutely wild. Yeah, we're about to make a lot of money. That's that much can't be overstated. We're gonna make a lot of money from today's sale. But look at that, totally cleared out. One truck full. I mean, that was like what, 1.5 mil or so. So yeah, just for one truck full here, it was about 1.5 million, just under that. So, fun story here. We are planting these potatoes, as you can see. The potatoes are in the ground, but I can't see it. They're being planted beneath the snow, I guess. So it would be a whole lot nicer if, I could actually see. We'll see if I can do something. We just need to get those potatoes sold so we can get a little later in the day. Okay, a little later in the day here, just 8:30 or so. You can see we are in the rain. Probably not the best idea to be planting in this, but whatever, man. You can see that the snow finally did melt away. I like how it looks. I do like driving through it, but it was a bit much. It was a bit much, man. So I have to admit, I am a bit happy to see it gone. More importantly, look at that money. Look at that money. Oh, baby, it's beautiful. So just looking at our sales, 5.5 million. 5.5 million. Potatoes are like crazy. It is crazy how much money they're worth, especially refined into french fries. That definitely adds a bit of value to them and everything like that. But even on their own, they make a ton of money. So, I mean, I just bought like close to half the map, and yeah. We're looking like we could get this done very soon in terms of full map expansion. I think I'll probably get a few more vehicles bought just to get everything moving and grooving, get things a little more planted, decide what I want to make sunflowers and what I want to make potatoes. This challenge was seeming a little, hard to accomplish just this past year. Like it was just going to take forever, but hey, things picked up a little bit. All we really needed to do was stick it out through one more harvest, which we did. We spent a lot of money to get there, but oh boy. Did we get there to match our new land? I mean, look at this lineup. This is just ridiculous. They started piling up on each other. I spent a lot of money. I mean, all of it's leased out, so it's gonna cost us in the long run, but hey, I think I have near every model of John Deere tractor now. We have another one there back at home. I don't know if we're gonna be able to support everything, but hey, I gotta try, man. I gotta try to cover this beautiful land with potatoes. Got the boys hooked up, and look at this lineup. So what is it? 5 tractors and 5 planters. Ooh boy, beautiful. This might be one of the last years that I actually harvest these fields. Next year, I think I'm just going to pour all of my resources into accomplishing my goal, build the ultimate huge potato farm, cover this entire land with potatoes, do one big, huge, gigantic plant to end the year, and potatoes are growing everywhere, man. Got a whole bunch of different farmhands out there working right now, and I am doing my favorite little job of on-the-go delivery for seeds and fertilizer. The vast majority of our new land is still going towards potatoes, as I feel it should be, even though we really do have a backup of potatoes. It just feels wrong to be farming like way more sunflower than we are right now. But just kind of visualizing things here, you can see we got a guy planting sunflowers over here. He's going to get done really quick. We got 2 boys working on 27 with those red planters. We got 2 boys working on the 23-24 field. And then our old planters from last year, they are still covering the 4 corners map. One of them fell a little bit behind the other, but that is a-okay. The last thing we will do is get this all planted with sunflowers once this fills up in 3 years' time. As I sort of teased earlier, I am going to have to spray some fields today, so decided to get another one of these little case trident toys that I like so much, and I'm going to be spraying some of these fields, namely this one to my right here. Making great progress planting this field, as you can see, move so we're not completely blocked by the trees. But yeah, they're making great progress, and I will be spraying this whole thing a little later in the day here, and we are actually all done planting, as crazy as that might seem. I'm using the aforementioned sprayer to spray out this field that those red planters over there covered. One thing I actually really enjoy about those is they have very little patches they miss, just a little bit right there, and I think that was more something with the headland pass. I mean, compare it to over there where some green planters planted, and oh man, it is like night and day difference. We out here just spraying though. Some pretty big fields, but I mean, this thing really flies down the course. It is very quick, maybe a little wobbly going over these rows, but it's getting everything nice and fertilized with that liquid nitrogen. Some beautiful country out here. Look at the lake down there, or the pond, I guess. There's also a little water mill down there. That's a really cool feature of this map. A beautiful August morning here in year 4. We got our truck already started up, warming up, even though it's going to be 93 today, a bit of a hot one. It is harvesting season for the potatoes that we dutifully planted back in the spring. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my fellow farmers, we have hit a momentous occasion. Our storage completely filled with potatoes. Just to confirm things, look at that, 6 million liters of potatoes. And that's just what we have in storage. In addition to that, several of these guys are carrying potatoes, you know, in the trailers and whatnot. And we have nearly 500,000 liters just right here. So probably another like few million liters still on the field and in these trucks and stuff like that. And just to add in that final little amount there, there's 1.6 million liters in the French fry store. So yeah, we got a lot of potatoes. What I'm gonna do is sell some of them off to our good friends at Jackson Farm. I'm gonna get some of those offloaded, but yeah, harvest is going very well. I mean, look at on the right over here, obviously missing the corner, which is tradition for us. We are really covering those fields. We got 2 harvesters, 2 auger wagons. This guy over here fully harvested already. Got a few funny looking little strips right here, but this yellow guy is catching up. The farm's looking good. That's all I'm saying, is looking good. Just a few more potatoes to grab off this field. We'll finish up this harvest. I'll see you in probably like a couple days here. Later this year, I shall see you. Well, howdy y'all, and welcome to what just might be the final day of this series and this challenge. Behind us, you can see we got every tractor on the farm. So we have 8 tractors now, all John Deere. I think I got near every model, or close to it at least. Every single one has been hooked up with a planter. Walking through, look at all of these. Some of them have potatoes in them already. I gotta fill the rest up, but we got all the Grim planters. I went with different colors just to make it a bit more fun. It is the day that we are going to cover this entire map with potatoes. Now, it is a big map. There's a whole lot of planting to do. So our very impressive lineup here will be ready to go. I'm gonna do something a little fun and probably put like 4 of them on one field. We do a little bit of a time lapse. It's gonna be a long day of planting, but we got a whole map to cover with potatoes, man. So we need all hands on deck. Now, speaking of French fries, you can see our cash is like crazy. I accidentally did something. I left the French fry production point on auto sell like the whole winter. So it has been producing and selling, and I figured at this point I'm just going to leave it on that. I did fully upgrade both the French fry shop and the oil mill, and we're already out of sunflowers. I needed just way more. I think to meet the demand of the French fries, I would have had to make several more fields into sunflower fields and way less potatoes. But you know what? Our money's doing totally fine. I can very easily afford the whole map. We'll make a little bit more money at the end of the day, but we did sell quite a lot of potatoes. Now the whole map here is ready to roll, and the one nice part is a few of these fields already do have potatoes on them. You can see 21, 22 and field 1 here, but the rest of it needs to be planted. Now we already own most of the map, so buying the rest of it is not going to be that big of a deal. We are going to just cover all of these fields that already exist with potatoes, complete our potato takeover of Iowa. So I'm just going to get these bought. Anything I don't have bought right now, I'm going to buy. All right, look at this. Decided to buy all like the little town stuff too, because why not? Still got 9 million in my pocket. And yeah, that is the entire map bought. Now it's just on to planting, man. So it's here at 6:27, nearly 6:30 a.m. March, year 5. 5 hard years of potato farming, and we are working on our final goal. All right, so here it is. We have officially begun planting, and we have 9 different tractors all planting at the exact same time. I have 4 on this field. You can see 2 right there, 2 up there, and we have 5 different tractors working on this field. There's 1 here, 1 right behind me, 2 right there, and then the last one is a little bit further behind. Tried to space them out just slightly, hoping they don't run into each other, but knowing AI, they almost definitely will and ruin my time lapse. So yeah, I mean, this is what it's gonna look like for the next probably multiple hours of planting. Obviously going to be using farmhands quite a lot today, not concerning myself with them missing a corner here, a corner there. Yeah, it's gonna be a time-lapse kind of day, lots and lots of planting. I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna set it up right now, and hoping for not very many mishaps from these guys, but you know, y'all know how AI is. See y'all in a bit. Midway through our plant here, things are going really well. See some boys on the right working, at least 1 or 2 on the field to my left there. It's slowly getting planted as well. We're just making progress, getting these fields planted, getting the home fields covered. They're already done. Have a few of the big fields covered already. Looking at the map, you can see there's a whole lot of brown already and several more on the way. I've split up the tractors a bit more than I had earlier. It's fun running 4 or 5 on the the same field, and it actually gets covered very quickly. Maybe like 10 minutes a field or something, maybe 20, I don't know. At this point, kind of just dividing and conquering though, even if the fields take a little bit longer, I just want all of them to get worked on. So putting 1 or 2 on each field. Setting up here on some of the fields down by the water and the little water mill up there, very pretty. But it's a work in progress, man. I hope you guys have been enjoying the time-lapse footage. I like showing a lot of this off. Very pretty landscape on this map in this March of year 5. I mean, I just love this little region right here. It's so pretty with all the water, the little lake, little park, and obviously all the potatoes in the ground. Let's get time-lapsing, man. Guys, I cannot believe we are reaching this moment right here. Sitting in my big tractor with some potatoes in the back, looking at a final strip here on one of the final fields that we have to plant. I'm down here on field 18, 17. There are a couple workers here at 19 and 20 still. They only have a couple passes too. We're also delivering some potatoes, hence the money up there. Just delivering the last of them, you know what I mean? We are hitting our goal today. So as I drive down this field, I'm just thinking about this whole map, this whole series, this whole challenge. It's been a really fun time. I had never even done any potato planting whatsoever. Had done a little bit of sugar beet contracts on Broke to Billionaire, which are kind of similar. But I mean, come on, potatoes are their own thing, their own beasts, really unique, and it's been fun getting exposure to them. So while I didn't do things completely base game, I can tell you from experience this is not something I would want to do all over again, even just any potato farming, man. I think it's a little underappreciated in this game. It was a lot more manageable with mods than I thought it would be. These size of fields definitely required quite a lot of vehicles that maybe a lot of people wouldn't expect them to necessarily have. So while I definitely went a little over the top, potato farming is actually pretty fun. It has its downsides, as I mentioned. Obviously, it takes forever to do, very small working with, all that sort of stuff, but it makes a ton of money. It really does reward your effort. So I take over for this farmhand. This little square right here is the very last of Iowa that is not covered in potatoes. So let's change that, put a little bow on this challenge. It was a fun one. And once you get down to these little triangles, the lines start to not look so good. So right here, officially running over this piece, and that is the entire map covered in potatoes as promised. Challenge complete. And just to put a bow on everything, look around. Obviously lots of tractors around, but every single field on the map covered. So we're still delivering potatoes. We are over $10 million yet again. Still have just a little bit in storage here. I could sell them off, but that's another like 2 mil or so. So as promised, here's the farm as I see a trucker flying, screeching down the road right there. Right below us, there is our solar farm. So this was a little converted animal barn. On the left, a lot of equipment, a lot of harvesters, a couple planters, that sort of thing. And down on the right, you can see all the auger wagons lined up. Our tractors are kind of all over the place. All over the fields, but look at those. There's lots of potatoes in the ground, but there's lots of little gaps there too from the corners they missed. So we'll just speed things up a little bit here so this doesn't take forever. But I can see a little tractor down there. Look at all these fields. They have those weird strips of green, but I can tell you for sure they all have potatoes in every single one of these fields. I love the watermill down there. That's one of my favorite features on this map. Maybe we'll use it in a future run. I love seeing my tractors on all the different fields. We kind of took this place over, man. Really pretty map. Love the little river right there. Would highly recommend going to this map if you're looking for a modded map to play. We're right here at the top of the tower. But yeah, that'll just near about do it from me. If you made it this far, please give me a like and give me a comment what you thought about the video, about the series. Thank you so much, and for the last time from the Tater Farm, a true Tater farmer, signing off and see you next time. I got some potatoes to go enjoy, man. You think I wasn't gonna eat them french fries? Come on.